everyone, welcome to this latest episode of Saruthake Jiyo Tales, the podcast series by HDFC Life, where we converse with individuals and people who've surmounted many obstacles in life and who've triumphed despite all odds. Honestly, this podcast series is a celebration of their indomitable will and spirit. Now, sports is a sphere where humans are tested time and again, and only the most diligent and well prepared go on to win accolades. Our guest today happens to be a pro athlete who's been in this profession for the past 17 years, a major feat in itself. She discovered her love for running at the mere age of 11 years, and she has gone on to win the women's 200 meters dash 3 times. Her journey along the way led her to found Fit Girl India. Today, we are in conversation with Ayesha Billimoria. Ayesha, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to this episode. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Niharika. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure.
And, let me begin with your childhood. So, you discovered your love for running at the age of 11 years. Honestly, if you ask me, that's quite early to find one's life purpose. I wish I were that lucky. Can you take us back to those formative years? And were there any experiences during that period of time that shaped who you are today?
Yeah, I did start my career quite young. I've run for about 35 years. I mean, I did play sports as a young girl as well, but I think I really picked up athletics at the age of 11. And I think if we go a little backtrack to my story, it's because I was put in a boarding school due to my health issues that I was born with. So I had epilepsy when I was born, and the doctors insisted that I be put in a school where the climatic conditions were better. And I think that's where my drive or I think interest towards sports kind of picked up. And when I moved back from the boarding school to Bombay, the first race that I took part in at the school sports day, I still remember coming first with a 50-meter gap between me and the other girls. And I think I was in under 12. It was my first year of ever racing in any sports day. My former coach, Savio D'Souza, who had come for the sports day as a chief guest. And he saw me doing long jump and he saw me running. And he went and told my father, he said, "Oh, she's really good. Why don't you come do some athletics training with us?" My mother was first a little hesitant. She said, "No, she needs to study. She's got tuitions, etc., etc. But how is she going to cope?" But dad was really persistent and he said, "No, she's good at something and I would really like for her to pursue sports."
So, as a professional athlete, you do require a lot of persistence. And I would just love to know how, as a professional athlete, one can develop the resilience and the perseverance that you need to keep pushing forward.
Well, I think this can be very personal and also very individualistic. You need to have a goal. And when we started getting into the races, when I started winning the state meet, I started winning the nationals. In fact, my very first nationals, I won my first gold medal. And that kind of was a feeling for my father where he believed that I was ready to run for India at some point. And when we set that goal that we wanted to represent India and we wanted to run at the Olympics, Asian Games, Commonwealth, I think that is what started driving me towards all this discipline that I have today. So the goal was set so high at such a young age that there was no other way out. So it wasn't going to be an easy task for us to just become an Olympian. So you needed all these elements around to kind of work towards that. I still want to be better and better at sports. I want to be better as an athlete. I want to still make my parents proud. I want to run till I can keep running.
Sure, and having the right kind of support is so important for all of us, no matter what we do in life, right? It's a perception that athletics come from affluent backgrounds and they might have it easy, right? But I want to know from you, were there any financial setbacks or deadlocks that you faced in your career? And also, how did having the support that you had from close quarters help with this choice of being an athlete?
Every sport is expensive. It depends on the level of where you're competing, at what intensity you want to pursue that sport. For us, because we wanted to be Olympians, I think the journey took us to many different countries. So when I did go to Australia, my mother actually broke her FDs. She came with me for the first trip. She kind of settled me there. And she really gave me the wings to fly. I mean, my father has been my biggest support, but I think financially it was mom who really took the reins, and said that you can do this for as long as you want and for as long as we can afford to kind of support you financially. When I went to Australia for the first time, so I trained there for 4 years, between 2010 to when I came back in 2014. My coach said that, you need to start getting self-sufficient. He said that if you are going to be an athlete, you need to learn how to be an independent girl. Only then are you going to be an independent woman to be running at the Olympics. He used to encourage me to work. So that's when I started coaching. And it was really kind of a feeling of, that I don't know, as a woman, you really feel strong when you earn your own money. And I'll never take away the fact that my parents supported me through and through. But in my last years of my training, it was really my money that I put into the training. And even today, it's all my money. But can't be more thankful to my parents.
And while you were just talking, you also mentioned Fit Girl India. So I'd love to know what motivated you to go in that direction.
I feel like India lacks having role models of our own. And why can't we have women who look up to our women in India? But my goal to start the page was not that people should know about me. My goal was to start to make sure that women in India did some form of exercise. That could be a housewife, that could be a single mom, that could be a girl going to college who has no access to any form of training. That could just be a working mother who's juggling between their child and a work. On a whim, I started off. So I started making notes what I wanted to do. I had to figure out what name to keep. So I was like, oh, Fit Girl's nice. Somehow Fit Girl was kind of fitting in. And then I was like, India. I don't know why India, but it's so funny because I'm so obsessed with wanting to represent India at some level that I just don't know. In that moment, the word Fit Girl India kind of kept coming to my mind. And what was important was to put out things that were really simple, because not everyone can do the fancy, complicated stuff that I can do. I had to target an audience like yourself who's probably never exercised, who's just looked at that one photo and says, hey, I want to be that. Yeah, I can do that. Let me try that. I wanted to be that person that I could come down to anybody's level and say, this is possible, because nobody in this world can't not exercise. Everybody can exercise. It's just how you get them to exercise. So I started doing more motivational talks. I started speaking more about the importance of exercise. My friends started really helping me spread the word. And through all of that, this name Fit Girl and the channel really kind of took off. And then the kind of stairs just went higher and higher from there. So yeah, it's been a pretty good journey.
Wonderful. I mean, it is just so inspiring to hear your story, especially about Fit Girl India. So, you're an athlete, you're always championing running as a lifestyle, and now you're also an entrepreneur. So, I just want to know, it must have taken a lot of financial planning as well, right? And especially as a woman who was starting her own company. Would you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, well, I can tell you that initially there was no financial planning. I just had to build my bank balance back when I came back from Australia. My mom used to always kind of force me, like force is the right word, that you need to start investing, you need to put money in your FDs, you need to look at this, you need to look at la 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 la, so many other things. And I used to get really frustrated with her. And I'm like, Mom, I need to first use my money to be able to save it. And when you're young, you're very aggressive. You don't understand money. Let's be honest. When you're young, you don't understand money. You just want to spend it because you earned it. And once I came back from Australia, or even in those years when I started earning money, I made a promise to myself that I would not take my parents' money anymore because they had spent way too much of their income on me, and it was not fair to do that. So I said, if I have to travel the world, I have to save my money somewhere. And then I went knocking back on my mommy's door and I said, Mom, I really want to put some money in an FD. And that was really kind of, she was so happy on that day because she was like, oh, finally you've come to realization that you need to save money.
I think the magic really is in the journey, right? So, from a kid who just loved running to a professional athlete to now a coach and a mentor, what have been some of the key lessons that you've learned along the way and you want to share them today on this episode?
My entire life goal was just to win a medal at the Olympics and kind of collapse over there. I didn't see a life beyond athletics. And I think that tunnel vision was what has driven me to be sitting here today. That tunnel vision is what has got me all this success today. If I have become a mentor today, or if people are kind enough to call me that, it's that 20-year journey that experience that I'm able to bring to this new generation. Coaching again is an experience that I bring into what I'm doing now. I don't think it's not fair for me to say I'm one of the best athletics coaches in the city, but I'm definitely one of the most knowledgeable and experienced athletics coach in the city who can really make people feel that running is for everybody. A lot of people don't like to run. People are scared to run. I will make you believe that you're good at running. That's what separates me from the rest of the coaches. And I think a lot of that, again, I take it back to Gavin for the way he trained me. You just have to put your mind to it. Um, so no matter what you do in life, don't forget what you love doing. I mean, I love running. I hope that I will love running for the rest of my life. People need to find that passion. People have forgotten the minute they step into the real world, they've forgotten what they're passionate about. While making money is extremely important, I do not deny that. It's important to remember what you love doing, but find what you love doing. And I promise you, uh, not a single day will look like you have to work. So, yeah, my message to people always will be that follow your passion, pursue your passion. It may be hard at the start, but eventually, I, you're going to love it. You're going to love what you'll see in the future for yourself.
I think it's love along the way and love all the way, actually.
Yeah.
About your future plans and, what are those goals that inspire you to get up and to strive for excellence every day?
Today is the day that you can live fully. If you can live today fully, tomorrow's going to be another good day. So while I know that there's something I want to do tomorrow, there is something I want to do even today evening, but in that pursuit, I'll forget what I want to do now. And I think the day I switched this mindset, every single day for me has been the happiest day of my life. Even if that means just going to another city and coming or catching another flight, waking up every day knowing that every part of your body, your organs, your eyes, your hearing aid, everything is just working and functioning normally. You're able to eat good food, you're able to communicate, you're able to talk, we're able to exchange this energy. That's a good day for me. This is my everyday future plan. And I want to live this future every single day if I get that opportunity. So, yeah, there are 100 things I would like to do in the future. I want to work with so many children, but if I can't do that today, then how will I do that tomorrow, right? So live each day fully and freely.
Wonderful. I think maybe that's why they call it the present, because that's all we
Yeah,
have. We
yeah,
have no
that's right.
control over the past
That's right.
or the
That's
future.
right. Thank you. I'm really really happy here, and I hope that this little chat of ours can inspire somebody to really find or tap into the passion that they love, and they can pursue that. So yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Well, our pleasure, and I'm pretty sure it's going to do just that. Women play a crucial and pivotal role in society, and between balancing caregiving and financial roles, they can often overlook self care. For a majority of women, the top concerns on their mind are family's health and security, children's education, and so on. Getting tailored insurance coverage helps them to live life without worrying about financial stability. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for watching this conversation. In case of any queries, you can always reach out to us on sukjpodcast@hdfclife.com. And with that, it's a wrap. This is me, Niharika, your host, signing off. I'll see you on the next episode of Sar Utha Ke Jiyo Tales.